Hey guys, Josh with ABG Tutorials. I'm sporting the mustache today, getting ready for 2023, and the mustache is going to bring me into the new year here. So in today's video, the focus is on hyperlinks. I'm not going to show you all of the hyperlinks. I'm going to show you the most common uses that you're going to be using on your pages. And I list them here. So linking to an external website, linking just to an email address if you want to provide a contact information, different page on the same website. So this is the one that's going to link your pages together when you have a multi-page website. The other one that's not used as much, but I'm still going to show it, would be a different location on the same page. So this would be used if you need to kind of scroll a lot, when you can link to a section maybe at the bottom of the page, the middle of a page, or something like that. And at the end, it doesn't really fit with hyperlinks, but it kind of does, because often people are linking to YouTube videos. And so I'm going to show you how to actually embed a YouTube video right into your web page that you're designing. So the tag here for hyperlinks is going to be the A, and it stands for an anchor. We're using this familiar attribute called href, where we're going to have to change what goes in the quotations here, depending on what we want to link. And then what goes between the tag is what's going to act as your link. You can put anything in here, including other tags. Some key attributes that I'm going to go over would be what you want to have happen when you click the link. Because when you think about it, if you want to navigate to a different page on your website, you want it to more times than not take the current tab and open the next page in the very same tab. But at other times, for example, if you're linking to an external website, you don't really want to leave your web page. You want to open up an additional tab or window. And so there are some attributes that we can use to kind of control that. The self is the default option, which will always change the current tab that you've got open. Blank is the one that you're going to use when you're not using the self most often, and that's just going to open up a new tab. And then there are a couple of other options here as well that may pertain to you depending on what you want your pages to do. So for linking to an external website, you want to include the full web address. That's including the HTTP or HTTPS :// all of that. So when you link to an external web page, I like to set the target attribute to blank so that it never really leaves your web page. When you want to link to an email address, you replace the href with mail to, and then you include the email address there. Now what's going to end up happening is it's going to open up your default email when you click that link. So if you have Outlook set up on your computer, which I do, it's just going to load up an email into Outlook. If you're using it on a mobile device, it's going to load it up into what your default email application would be on your phone. All right, so let's show you these first two links in action here. In the first example, I'm just linking to Google. You can see in the href, I have got the complete address to take me to Google. If you just type www.google.ca, it won't work. And then I've decided to say, click here for Google. Below it, I've got an example where I'm emailing jimbojohn@hotmail.com. My apologies, Jimbo John, if you're real. I just kind of made one up here. So I'm going to click the live preview. Show you what this looks like. So let's click to Google. I'm using the H1. And you can see it's purple because I've already visited it. And so if I click here for Google, notice how it opens in a separate tab. So see, my website's still open here. It's a separate tab, and it's doing that because I've got this target equals blank. Now I can just delete this or change it to self. Let's save that. Let's close this. Now let's click that same link, and you can see it took me completely off of my website and it loaded up Google. I can still access my website, but I really recommend just setting that target so that it opens in a new tab. Now the email for Jimbo John, I'm not going to reveal my email address, so I can confirm that it's popped open my Outlook browser perfectly. Okay, so this is probably the one you're going to use most frequently, because when you think of a web page, you often have more than one page. Sometimes you have several pages, okay? So in this case, the href is just going to be the name of your page, dot. Now I put in HTML, but you need to understand that there are web pages that can be made that aren't always HTML documents. So you know it needs to match your extension. Now you can only use this short version if the page or all of the pages are in the same folder. Similar to how I showed you the images, if you want to link to a page that isn't in the folder, you're going to have to use the longer version of the address. But most cases, you're going to have a folder that has your website created in it. And so you're just going to be using the name of the page. Okay. And it's going to be up to you if you want to open the page in a new tab, or if you just want to take the current tab and take you to that next page. When we want to link to a different location on the same page, we actually have to do a couple of steps. The first thing here is I have to use this number sign, and the number sign is just telling my anchor tag to look for the name, an ID, which has to be unique, and IDs come in play with JavaScript. You can add an ID to any tag. And so in this case, you're going to have to use the number sign, but you're also going to have to go and add an ID somewhere in your page, where then you can go ahead and click that link and it'll jump or take you right to where you've inserted that ID. So to showcase linking from one page to another page, I've opened up an HTML project. I'm also a teacher, by the way, and so this is a project that a student submitted to me. I teach computer science. So you can see we've got a couple of pictures in this folder. We've got 3 pages, and there's a CSS page, which we'll get to when we get there. Okay, so I'm just going to load up the page to show you what this website looks like. Okay, and it's a website on Dead Poets Society. You can see they've got this little navigation bar at the top. We've got links to go by, and this will take me to a website. We could click here to watch the movie. That's going to take you to Disney Plus. And then once here, click the center image to watch the trailer. This is going to take you to a YouTube clip. Now again, I'm going to show you at the end of this video how instead of having this link into YouTube, we could just embed the trailer right in on this page. Okay? And so here, when you hover over top of the links, you can see that it wants to take me to a different place. So if I click characters, it changed, took me right to the characters page, took me there again. So you can see the navigation bar stays the same. I'm able to easily click between my pages. The pages are laid out very nicely with images and text. A nice little web page that was created here. So I'm going to show you just the HTML code. Let's go. So when we look at the HTML code, we have got this place at the top. Now the TR and TD, that's coming up in my next video. They've used a table. And here's my tag right here, href, href, and another href. And you can see in between the anchor tag is what they're using for the words home, characters, literary elements. Okay, and so then what you have to do is have this section of code on every page you want to use, and then you can link between it. Now, if you wanted to add an extra page here, it's really quite easy. You add another section in your table, and you add another anchor tag linking into a different page, and it's really that easy. And then you're able to copy and paste this into all of your pages so that you've got a nice organized navigation system. All right, so to jump to a different location on the page, I had to modify this page a little bit here. So I just refreshed, and you can see I added this little link here that says click to the bottom. Now, in order to showcase why you would need to do this, I lengthened the page a little bit. I just copy and pasted this paragraph which was placed in a table, and I just created 4 extra paragraphs here just to show that I do in fact have to scroll a little bit to get to the bottom of the page. Okay, so I've put 4 paragraph tags. What I've done though is on this last paragraph tag, I've added an ID attribute. So you can add this to any tag. The idea of an ID though is like a name. It should be unique. You can't reuse a name, so you have to make it unique by adding a number or specific words or something like that. And you don't have to get crazy here. Use short versions. But when I click this, you'll notice it takes me right to the bottom of the page. And now I could add another link that says take me back to the top or something like that so that you could jump around on your page. You know, usually blogs or something like this where you want a linear page is where this is going to happen. You know, Wikipedia, I think, is how they do this as well. It's just one massive page with all of the links at the top, and they just jump you to the required place. So let's take a look at the code that I put in here. First, to get to this click to the bottom, I added an anchor right here. I added a center tag. I said click to the bottom, and under my href, I'm adding this number sign last P, meaning the last paragraph. Now if I scroll to the bottom, here are all of my paragraphs. I just copy and pasted them. There's the first, there's the second, there's the third, and on the fourth, I added this ID attribute called last P. And so that's why when I click my link, number sign last P, it's going to look for that ID on this page. It's going to see it and it's going to take me down there. All right, so to embed a YouTube clip into your page, it's so easy, okay? It's built into YouTube. So you want to find the video you wish to embed, and I'm going to show you right away this very same website I've been showcasing. I'm going to do this. You want to click the share button as if you want to send that to one of your friends. You know, you could send it through, usually if you're on your phone, you can send it to the text, you can send it through an app, but there's actually going to be one of the options there that says embed, and what it'll do is it'll just create the link for you. And you copy and paste that tag straight into your web editor, save it, and you'll notice that it'll work perfectly, and you just might want to adjust some of the attributes that go with it. All right, so in this situation, this designer decided to click the middle image. So you can notice the image is a link, and they remind you down here. Click the center image to watch the trailer. That's why when you hover over, it shows you that it's a link. I'm going to click this. It opens in a new page, and you can see here's my Dead Poets Society trailer. Now you want to click the share button, and notice again, here's the embed. Click that, and it's an iframe that we're going to use. And then I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to close out YouTube. I am going to close out this page. I'm going to open this page with my editor. And I'm just going to go at the bottom just to show this here. And I'm going to paste this in. An iframe right here like this. I'm going to save it. I'm going to open up the live preview. And let's see if it worked. Scroll to the bottom. And you can see, here's my trailer. Now, it's not centered. So, you could go in, add a center tag. It doesn't play automatically. There's an attribute that you could look up to determine if it'll play right when you start it. Maybe you don't like the size of it. You can play around with the size and all of the other attributes. Okay? So that's it for this video. We're nearing the end of the HTML series. Now we can link between pages, we can link to external sites, and we can bring in videos and other things into our page, embedding them with this iframe tag. And I just showcased that right here. Thanks for following. As usual, guys, always be grinding, sporting the mustache into 2023.